Yeah, surely all women have the keys to what they call hell. Yeah, they do. All women do. You see, all women have the key. You see, to what the people call hell, regardless if you believe it or not. You see, regardless if you believe it or not, you always know what type of nation you have by the woman. You see, by the woman. You see, if your woman have if she's stable, if she has stability, if she has awareness, you see, um, you best believe that you're gonna have a beautiful, developed nation. You see, if this is the woman you see that you're governing. You see that you're governing. You're gonna have a powerful nation. You see, women. Listen. When you look on these in the entertainment world, and you hearing these young babies talking about what a provider is, something that somebody is telling them, or they looking back in the past and things, but they're not doing the work as the women who just automatically knew their role, and the men automatically knew his role. They didn't used to. A woman ain't never said, "Hey, well, you a provider. You supposed to do this for me, and I don't supposed to do nothing but sit on my ass and look pretty." You see, I mean, that's how they really talk. And they believe that type shit. And then they dress the part. They put on these costumes and things. You see, to dress the part, to let the people know. You see, but what they do, they rent out their hell. Yeah, the women, they rent out their hell, or they rent out their lower self. You see, they rent out their lower self. You see, and this is a process. They rent it out, and then the men, they flush themselves inside of this womb and things. You see, where nothing is growing. You see, everything just dies inside of that womb. You see, and she gets the imprint of that one being. You see, and then here comes another one. You see, and then the other one comes and he does the same thing. You see, and she gets another imprint. So she's imprinted all these beings. You see, so the capacity of that space down there in hell is going to be filled up. You see, and by the time she hit 30 or 40, you see, she's going to pop into the house of insanity. You see, but if she don't have real men that will talk to her and release those poisons, you see, or those toxins from her travels, you see, they're going to need the strength of a man to pull out those toxins, you see, or those imprints, you see, from those spirits, you see, that touched her, you see, or violated her, not because this understanding came from her. It's something that was adopted, you see, to her, you see, adopted to her, you see. So she'll be able to come out of it, real clean. You see, real clean, as long as she stay around strengthful people. You see, and they teach her about her whoop-de-whoop. You see what I'm saying? You see, when you hear me talk about on camera, and I'm talking about, you see, and the anatomy of a woman, and then I say the G spot, the first thing you go to is, that little thing down there. But people that know me know what I'm talking about. So I'm not worried about what you thinking. What you thinking? I've been trying to give myself to you people for a long time. You see, and you still can't hear me. You see, you still can't hear your brother. You see, I keep telling you, I'm not going to be here long. You see, I'm not going to be here long. I switch up every goddamn month, coming through another motherfucker. I keep telling you this shit. You see, you want to call it some type of psychotic thing or whatever. No, no, no. I can't say it because I put myself in a situation. You see, I screwed up. You see, and I put myself in a situation because I'm thinking that certain things is going to go right. I got into the world. I touched myself. I put myself in forbidden spaces, you see, and so I got caught up. So therefore, I got to dwell in this space until I'm released, you see. But at the same time, I'm developing all the things that the low minds travel with. I'm seeing it all, you see. I'm seeing it all. I'm right here. I'm letting these people come above me and letting them point down at me and call me low vibrational. You see, low vibrational, and they don't even know that low vibrational shit. You see, you can get on it and you can surf on that shit. You see, you really can. You can surf on that low vibrational shit. You see, but you don't know that though. You think it's some type of a bad thing, like it's affecting you. No, you can use the low vibrational shit like the Jewish people use. They are everybody in power used low vibrational shit to get rich. You see, to get power. You see, I'm just talking to you. I'm just saying. You see. You got to learn how to use these points. You see. Above and below. You got to know how to use both of them. You see. How's the apex of the lower point of the lower dimension? Where's the apex of that at? Where is it pointing? This is the head right here. So it's pointing down, right? The lower part is pointing down. So you like this. Only thing you got to do is just elevate yourself. You still gonna be low though, but you gotta erect yourself. You gotta erect yourself. You see, erect yourself and visualize yourself upright. You see, if your head is pointing up right, even if you're low, you see, you're just gonna merge up to the highest point. You see, you're just gonna merge up to the highest point, the highest apex. That's how you do it. You see, that's how you do it. You see. Now, if you go into other dimensions, it's gonna turn into a Merkaba, and then it's gonna start spinning, and then you just sit right there inside of that central being and let it move like a Doppler. Up and down, up and down. That's you. You're spinning because you're working. You're working and you're traveling, so you need that energy, you need that, you need that energy, you can't just stay down there or just stay up here and shit. What you staying up here for? You see? That right there, this illusion right here up under your feet is solid. It's a solid illusion. Take that illusion and make it solid, and then just start doing everything you need to do out here. For people, your peoples, the next generation, all that other type of stuff. And if you are kind of slow in your real estate or any type of business that you're doing out here that's trying to make you some money, if you're slow in doing that type shit, put yourself in a position and line yourself up with all the planets. You see, all the planets, you see. Not on the outside of you, though. You're going to have to put these motherfuckers inside of you. You're going to have to see or know your conception of, you got to know the Big Bang. You got to know when that light first emitted, you see, to create you. You see, when you understand that, because that same light that created you, that bonded you and your mother together, through that mitochondria, you see, when it tightened up like that, and exploded. Well, that's the same thing that comes when, what they say, oh man, don't you want to be blessed? You see, something, it happens all the time. Even when you're not even thinking about a blessing, something just pops up to you. Oh shit, Wow, what was that? Write it down. Don't think about it. If you got to think about it more than 5 seconds, you see, you fucking up because you're not thinking, you're erasing. So, as soon as it pop in your head, get you a pen and just start writing, just start writing down. Don't think about nothing. Just think about what you saw, you see, and make it and scribble it. Just scribble it and then let your mind see that whatever it was inside of you, you see, on that paper, it's going to pull it out. And then you might have a partial book, you see. You will. You probably have a little partial book there, you see. Oftentimes when you talk about certain things and you in other people's homes or other people's houses or what they believe, the first thing they're going to do is start calling you an antichrist. They're going to call you, listen, they're going to rip you apart. They're going to call you everything to prevent you from getting out of this supremacy, you see, that was webbed around you, you see, and webbed around your thoughts, you see. They're gonna say all type of shit that will make you stick or that will keep you programmed in here. You see, and even if you try to do something, even if you do something in front of the people, they still gonna say that you're not it because what they believe is a spirit. They don't believe in nothing that comes and goes, that presents itself and comes back and presents itself and comes back. Leaves and comes back. They don't believe in that stuff. You see, ain't no such thing as no second coming of no Christ. You see, not in the physical. Well, some people believe it's in the physical. Some people believe it's higher consciousness or a certain type of consciousness. You see, but they keep using the word Christ. And you ask them what do Christ mean, they'll tell you, okay, well, what that have to do with wompty-womp? You see, everybody got these crooked things and shit, or these definitions of all these type things. Why you worrying about it? Why you even using the word? How come you just can't become or be it and become it? You see, people's going to see you illuminate. You see, they're going to see you illuminate. If you are the oil and you just need a little bit of fuel, you see, that enlightened one will flame you up. Period. You see, it will flame you up. Don't give it a name. Give it your name. Look at me. You see, look at me. You don't have to listen. You think the universe wants you to boast about him and talk and brag about him and talking about he's the mighty one and all this other type of stuff. That's man-made stuff. You see, insecure stuff. You see, tell them that I was here. All this other type of, no. You see, you got to become the being. You see, you got to become the being. These beings say these things because they want power of what the truth source created. They just want power. You see, the truth source says be. You see, just be. Be means become me. You see, I am you. In order for you to develop and grow, you got to share the energy. That means you got to bond with me. You see, you got to bond with me, not boast about me or brag about me. Just bond with me so you can see above and below, to the left and to the right. You will have eyes everywhere. You see, plain and simple. You see, that's how it is. You see, that's how it is. But you have to know these things. You see, you have to know these things. I understand that you got, I believe in this. I don't believe in what you talk. I don't believe. Okay, that's fine. No, that's fine. You see, you know your mother and you know your father. You don't believe that do you believe that's your mama? Do you believe that's your daddy? You believe those are your sisters? What you believe? But you know it now. You know that's your mama and your daddy. You see. You know this is your hand that's connected to your wrist, right? You know it. I got belief that my hand is right here. And that person said, I know that my hand is right here. You see. Which one is going to walk through the gate? Which one is going to turn the knob? Or which one is going to have doubts? You see, because if you have doubts, I'm going to give you this thing called choices. You see, it's going to, well, you might die. I don't know. It's up to you. What you want to do? You see, what they call it, free will. Free will. You got the W right there. Then you got the word ill. You see, hey, only thing you need is another chromosome. You the chromosome. That right there, that 23rd, it can be used as a chromosome. And that's why they put it right there in front of that word ill. You see, you got two master numbers right there. You see, that's how they wrote it as two master numbers, but at the same time, they have it's a double U. You see, it's a double U. So you have two U's there. So you got a 21 and a 21. You see, you have a 42. You see, you have a 42 right there. You see. Now, how you going to work with that? How you going to deal with that 42? W. You see, that square. And then you have two people that's falling into this thing called illness. You see, called illness. You see, the two people is the two L's. And then you get that one agreement, that 9, it says I. You see, the bond in the front, the bond in the back. You see, that's the word will. That's the word will. You see, I know you don't understand it. I know you don't understand it. And you know, who am I? Who am I? You see, I'm just talking to you. I'm just talking to you. You see, because when you talk like this, the first thing people do, they'll go in their book. They'll do exactly what the program told them to do. These are gremlins. This is where you get the word gremlin from. These are gremlins. The first thing they'll do, they'll go inside that book and point out where, just in case somebody tried to break my spell against you, read this to them. You see, read that to them. You see, you have the tree, that's the wholeness of the book. And then you have good, and then you have evil right here. You see, it's the book. You see? But if you choose life, then you start talking like me. And then they'll go into their book and then tell the woman, oh, listen, that ain't what he talking about. Listen, look, you ain't gonna die physically. We don't die, we don't die. Don't worry, we don't die, you see. And then the woman, her capacity of her lower realm has reached its fullness, but it's still a hole there. You see. But all the entities are within her. You see, they're all in her. So when that man come and put himself there, she released these things in him. And in turn, she manifests a monster. You see, when first it was a God spirit that has been tainted. But when the essence go into this man from another man. She, you see, developed this monster that's inside of her. Thousands of monsters, you see. Thousands of monsters when these when the essence come, you know, it's like a trade. It's like a trade. You see, the essence come, you see. And then all of a sudden, these men, they meet a woman that's strong, however it may be, and then they do their thing. You're going to see this monster or this thing being birthed from that woman that's a good woman, you see. And you're going to see the baby, the child, and how the child is going to come into the world, you see. Yeah. Because the man pulled the essence out from this pit of the woman, pulled the essence out, and that man put it in him. And over time it developed into water, and then it lays down into the sanctuary of the gods that's inside of him, that they all going to have to sacrifice, and one of them going to come out, you see, from what was in her. You see, yeah. You will see who they were. You will see their actions. Their actions is in that woman that he was playing with 10 years, 20 years before he met your mother. You see, that's how it works. You see in monsters, you see these things, you see men on men, women on women. All this shit comes from the womb of that woman. And people don't know this. They don't know these things because they don't know creation. They don't know themselves. You see, they don't know themselves. So you can't blame nobody but your actions, you see. But your actions. That's why it's always good to pray and give orders to your being, since you closer to the Christ. You see. Source Christ. Man, woman, and child. You see, you look in the other way, the child, then the woman, then the man. See, you got a lot of people don't want to look at it like that. Oh, well, you ain't feeding the child. You out there working. That woman is right there teaching that child everything, nigga. So stop the cat. Stop the cat. You bring the order down to the woman from what the Christ gave to you up here. You bring the order down to the woman inside of the home, inside of the sanctuary. You see, and she'll give it to the child. If the child raises up, you see, you bring that information to the male or to the head. You see, and he'll come down and penalize or chastise the child. You see, I'm just talking to you. Love you.